Hey, what's up? It's your boy, the Sugar Prince, and I just wanted to give y'all a life story. So, I've been thinking about which story I should tell. So, I figured the first story I would tell is how I met Jibreel Mawry. And for those of y'all who don't know Jibreel Mawry, he's one of the actors from Motown the musical, the brand new musical Motown. So, yeah, for those of y'all who don't know. Anyway, this is how I met him. I'm sure a lot of you heard about the MJ tribute I performed in last year with Lane. And what happened was that before the show, we all had a meeting. That was before Lane even came into PA. Lane was still in Las Vegas at the time. We was all sitting in Colette's apartment. Then Lane was on the phone. We were going over what songs we were going to do and when rehearsal was going to be, and stuff like that. And so then Colette said that before the show, she said hopefully the kid from Motown comes will be able to come. And Motown is also, if you don't know by now, Motown the musical is based off Motown the record company, and Motown is like my favorite record label to the for both old Motown and new Motown. Motown's my favorite record label. And so when I heard she was getting a boy from Motown, I automatically thought B. Smith. So I was like, oh snap, she got. I'm thinking to myself, oh snap, did she get B. Smith? I didn't want to like jump to conclusions right then and there, like, oh snap, you got B. Smith, and then look stupid when she gives me a dirty look. And so, I decided just to keep it to myself. I'm like, okay, she probably got B. Smith. Okay, okay. That's all. So I'm thinking, B. Smith. I'm thinking the kid from Motown, B. Smith. It doesn't even pop into my head that Motown was a musical at that time. I didn't know she was referring to Motown the musical, not Motown the record label. So in my mind, I'm thinking she means the Motown record label, but she actually means a kid who plays young Michael in Motown the musical. So yeah. Anyway, what happens is day of the show. Day of the show, I arrived at the Sherman Theater early. I'm serious. I'm serious. Those dancers, they tell me to be somewhere at a certain time. I'm there, but then they don't show up till like half an hour or an hour later. Like, really? Really? So yeah. Anyway, what happened was that I arrived at the venue early. I arrived at Sherman early, but then nobody was there. Like, they let me go inside, but nobody was there. I didn't want to be looking suspicious or anything, so I go down Walmart real quick. I get something to eat before, like to eat backstage during the show, and then I go back, and then everybody's there. So we all going backstage, and I see this one little kid with a small little fro sitting on the couch with his mother. So I'm like, probably one of Colette's friends. I'm like, probably one of Colette's friends. And then all of a sudden I see, cause I'm going in and out my dressing room because I'm just bored. Like when I'm bored, I just keep walking around. So I'm walking around the theater and whatnot. So you know, time waster until we have to get rehearsing. And then what happens is, while I go out my dressing room for the fifth time, was it the fifth? No, it was the third time. Third time, I hear Colette talk about how she loves the kid's voice and whatnot. I was like, kid's voice? So I'll go back into my dressing room. I guess he must have mistaken his dressing room for mine because when I went in there, I saw a card of this kid. And so I saw booking, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm like, Jibreel? And then I was like, well, why is he here? Why is he here? And I'm thinking to myself, why can this kid be here? Because I was like, all I know is that she's supposed to be getting somebody from Motown. That I think for a minute. I'm like, okay, hold on, let me think for a minute. And then I'm still thinking, but then we all decide that we gotta get up and rehearse a dance one more time. So we all going up stage, and I'm making Jibreel laugh behind my back, like I going up the stairs, but then I tripped. I'm like, oh, nobody saw that. And then he's like laughing at me. So yeah. Anyway, what happens is Jibreel goes on stage first, then he starts doing Jackson 5 song. I was like, wait, is this kid Colette? I'm thinking to myself, wait, is this the kid Colette was talking about? And then I saw him upstage doing Jackson 5. I was like, oh, this is the kid. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, he's not in the Motown record label. But then think to myself, I'm like, hold up a sec. And then it finally clicks in my head, Motown the musical. I just remembered right then and there, Motown was a musical, was a brand new musical at the time. So he was a kid that played young Michael in the actual Motown musical. So when I saw, I was like, oh, she meant Motown the musical. I was like, man, man, man. Well, anyway, after Jibreel finishes his rehearsal, me and the dancers, we go on stage, we rehearse, remember the time. If you don't know what that dance is, I saw my camcorder comes in. I'm going to be recording me doing dance videos and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, we rehearsed the Remember the Time dance, that one where we're like, and like, stuff like that. So, yeah, we rehearsed that dance. And then it's like an hour before showtime, so we're sitting there backstage, and just hanging out. I mean, me and Donna, we are like impressed with Jibreel. We're like, holy snap, this kid got his own flyers. And I kept showing Donna, and then he just keeps on laughing. And so, what happened was that Jibreel also was going to perform in the actual show with us. So we teach him the movements that we were going to do for the actual show as well. And so then it's showtime. On One Be Starting Something, we all go out and do our part with Jibreel. And then we do The Way You Make Me Feel. Jibreel wasn't in that one. But anyway, we just put on the show. And then what happens is at the end of the show, as soon as they all introduced us, like they introduced Lane first, then they introduced all the dancers, they introduced me, Donna, and like all the people involved in the show, I quickly run up to Jibreel as soon as everything's done. I'm like, yo, hey, let me get a picture with you. So I get a picture with him. I was like, okay, add you on Facebook, followed you on Twitter, and followed you on Instagram. And sure enough, about a day later, I see Jibreel follows me back. So, yeah, that's how I met Jibreel. And then I looked him up on YouTube, saw other videos of him performing. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Jibreel Mawry perform, you have to see this kid. He is truly the young Michael. He is truly the young Michael. Anyway, so Jibreel, if you're watching this, shout out to you, man. This video was all about me meeting you. So if you're watching this, one love. Hope to see you at the tribute this year. Hope to see you again soon. Anyway, that's my story on how I met Jibreel. So like, comment, subscribe. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. And send in some questions on Ask. So see ya.